Assalamu alaikum again. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa atba'i wa sallam. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Last week we studied the verse 17. You don't honor orphans. We roughly and very briefly defined what orphan is. In the hands of human beings, everything is an orphan. Every creature is an orphan. Every animal, every plant, everything is an orphan. So we should honor it. Why? Because in the conditions of this creation, there is no protector for them. We emphasized on it. We explained why the orphan should be understood at a universal level. Not only those people, very simple, that children do not have parents to protect them, to look after them, but in the conditions of this world, before human beings, everything is orphan, where we can treat them as we want. We can tell them, you exist by yourself. We can cut the tree as we want. We can kill the animals as we want. Yes. And we can insult them. They are purposeless. For example, people do that. I don't think you do. We can just say that you are just random beings. We can insult them. We are free to do that. But the Quran says, we have to make ikram to them. We emphasized on the word ikram, which was the same word as we studied here in this world. This word there, the same word. So when God gives us something, we say, God honored me. Okay, which is just what has to be. This is it is normal. But when it comes our treatment to other creatures, we don't honor them. Because as far as we are concerned, we have to honor them. We have to respect them. Why? Because in the conditions of this world, they are orphaned. They don't have anybody to protect them. Right? But God is the Lord of everything, but as far as my relationship with the creatures are concerned, within the order of this established universe, order of this universe, I can do everything I want. I can say everything about them as I want. So, Quran reminds us that you have to honor the orphan. It means give them their right as far as they deserve to be, because they are gifts, creatures of the Lord of the whole universe. Right? So they are missives, they are messages, they are letters from the creator of the universe. For example, if a very important person, that's an example, I don't know who is the important person, but I don't know. But a very important person sends you a letter and invites you to come and acknowledge his power, his authority. And what you do, you just tear the letter off. What is that? What have you done? Insulted. Not only did you insulted the letter, you insulted the person who sent it to you. You rejected his authority. While we are dealing with the creatures, if we just treat them as and not having any importance at all, it means we just tear them off. Now, we don't read the message through, which is sent to us through them. So honor, in fact, honoring the creatures is in fact who will continue the sentence? Honoring the creatures is in fact the owner of this, the one who sent this creature to me as a message, giving the news to me about its creator, introducing its creator to me. So I think we have to generalize. We have to have a universal meaning to orphan. Otherwise, we say, I never treated any orphan. I don't know any orphan anyways. In my life, have you seen any orphan without any father and mother living in the street? No one is taking them. So this verse is not related to yet. And also honoring means, we have to understand that. Honoring means not only protecting their rights, but utilizing them for the purpose they are created for you. Honoring means the letter is sent to you, you have to read and say, the one who sent the letter to me is inviting me for, let's say, for the sake of Ramadan, for iftar. It is an honor for me to go there. Responding to the letter, when going to acknowledging the invitation of the one who invited you, is in fact honoring what? Through honoring the letter, you honor what? The one who sent it. It means when we honor the creatures, we honor the creator, as you said. We have to be very careful because we have to read the Quran at a universal level because it is the universal message. Why? Because it is the speech of the creator. Now, I cannot read the speech of the creator on a very, whose knowledge is absolute. I cannot read it in a very limited meaning. So we will continue now. I think we studied this last week quite a lot. Now we can continue to the verse 18. Okay? Sorry? Me? Yeah? Me. Oh. Then, okay, I can read something like this. Okay, don't worry. That's all right. Let's not change this. Okay. Right? Yeah. Now, meaning is, how is it translated into English?
And you do not urge one another to feed the needy.
No. وعلى طعام المسكين. Yeah. Ta'am is to feed. Anything nourishing. Ta'am. What they need. So the main problem is, first, who are miskin in the language of the Quran? It means who are the needy ones. Needy of what? And how are we going to feed them? It means give them what they need. Support them. How? Who are the miskin? Who's going to explain now? Who are the miskin? What do you know about miskin? Who are the needy ones? No answer? No, you don't know? Sorry?
Everything in creation.
Yes, they are needy. And for example, let's say, how are we going to feed them? Especially human beings, needy human beings. Let's start from there. How are we going to feed them? Oh, for example, can you describe the needy human beings? What do they need? Human beings need what?
A conscious interaction,
Conscious and
a conscious connection.
yeah. So human beings need what? Whatever the human qualities require to be satisfied, right? So what we should be very careful that as far as the human beings are concerned, we should not reduce neediness to the animal side of human beings. They are not human beings. They are animals. Yes, animals also are needy. Plants are needy. We have to take care of them, but especially as far as human beings are concerned, that we have to feed their human needs. What is the most important human need? Most important human need. You are all human beings. Now use your human side and say, what do I need the most? Anyone?
Air.
Sorry?
Air.
Sorry?
Air.
Air?
Yeah.
Oh, no, this body. It's not human being.
Eternity.
Eternity of what?
My existence.
That's it. Security, certainty about my existence. So, eternity of my existence. Right? So, how are we going to feed the need for the eternity of one's existence? How are you going to do that? Because the Quran says we have to urge people. Come on, feed these people's need. How are we going to do that?
By extracting meaning from our experience or from creation.
So whatever extracting, I understand what you mean. Whatever convinces you that your existence will be eternal, absolute, right? And you are sure that your existence is not going to disappear one day. The security in one's existence is the most important human need. And then comes my life as a conscious being, my life. So eternity of my life is the second degree most important need. How can I make sure that my existence is going to be secured and my life is going to be secured for eternally? What is the way of securing one's existence and life eternally? We have been discussing this. Come on.
Being conscious of it.
Sorry?
Being conscious of it.
Conscious of what?
Of your existence. So basically your eternity.
Oh, but how can you guarantee that your existence will be eternal?
By connecting it to the eternal.
Sorry, connecting it to
the eternal creator.
If you are aware that I think you were going to say this.
I was going to say that desire is the understanding that desire for eternity was given to me.
Yes, okay. How are we going to satisfy this desire?
By simply by understanding that whatever gave it to me will fulfill it. That the desire did not come from me. It was
Okay, it is given to you. How are you going to satisfy it?
the understanding satisfies it.
But understanding of what?
To understand that whatever created the desire will fulfill it.
So the source of existence of this desire needs to be acknowledged. So your existence is dependent. Are you aware that the people, are the people aware that their existence is dependent? So they are needy, they don't know. They are hungry, but they don't know they are hungry. The practical example. How are we going to make them be aware, or make ourselves and them be aware that their hunger can only be satisfied by, as you said, connecting your existence to its source, acknowledging that the source is eternal. Now, do you have any organization, any people, even any person who is trying to feed a need of human need, feed the need of human beings, so that they need to acknowledge that they are being created, their existence is dependent, and their existence is dependent on the one who creates them. And this creator must be necessarily absolute one. Otherwise, he cannot be a creator. For example, in the universe, there is nothing absolute. Nothing can be the creator. Nothing can be the source of existence of another thing. That's our very famous phrase. We keep using this. It's very important. We shouldn't just say that Allah created us. It doesn't explain anything to the people. These people believe something, some phantoms or something, magical things. So we have to make, our sentence must make sense within the conditions of this world. So the source of existence, whoever made it, must be the one who can give existence to things. What can give existence to things? So very simple. The main mission of the prophets is to make the people realize that they are given existence by someone who is not a part of this universe, cannot give. That's why the Quran keeps saying that don't commit shirk. Anyway, I'm not one of the one who ascribes divine quality to anything, because there is nothing which is worth to be described a divine quality in the world. It means bringing things into existence while they don't exist. There's nothing in the universe. So what we should do, we should urge one another to feed the need of very fundamental human needs, very, very fundamental human needs, by helping them acknowledge, realize that they are given existence. They need to acknowledge the source of their existence, so attribute their existence, connect their existence to the Creator, to the Creator. So we can close the door, because they are going to have iftar here today. It will be quite noisy. So, so there are many organizations, orphanages, community soup centers, and elderly, taking care of the elderly's body. They need to be taken care of body, not human side, body. All this civilization has established its value on the body side of human beings. We call it what? Body is animal side. Not much or many organizations who are trying to feed human needs, not body needs. Body needs, in order to take care of the body needs, you don't have to be a believer. You don't have to have the Quran is a guide for you. You don't need it. Even the atheists do much better job than believers do. Yeah? We have to bear in mind this. You don't have to be any human being at all, like another animal, taking care of another animal. These people are just taking care of animal side of humanity, human beings, and because they acknowledge, they define themselves in terms of animal being. Did you say animal being? Animal being. That is secular civilization. That's why and information about religious culture. Information about religious culture. You have to do this. It is the Laylatul Qadr. So you have to do this, and why don't you give money to religious institutions to purify yourself? This is the most important month that if you give more, you will be given more in return by God. But it's not my need. My human need doesn't want to be rewarded as far as the actions are concerned. My need is my security in my existence, security in my life. I don't see any institution doing that. Why? Because we are more prone to understanding the Quran, speech of God, in terms of our values, which are materialist values. Understand? Quran speaks to humanity. We understand it at the level of materialist values. Got it? There's a very dramatic situation in the whole world, not only among the Muslims. Christians understand it in this way. Jews understand it in this way. Muslim communities understand in this way. What's going on in the world? Quran speaks to materialist human beings in practice. What a very horrible situation. We have to wake up. The Quran says, you don't urge one another to feed the needy, which means you should do that. You are neglecting this. Now the prophets come. What do? All the stories we hear through the Quran, through Torah, we hear the prophetic messages. What do? What do the messengers, prophets preach to human beings? Gather your information as far as you know from the Quran or Torah or whatever. What do? Do they organize community kitchen? Do they establish orphanage? Do they establish the hospices for elderly people? Or what do? The prophets, what do? Look at the life of the prophet Muhammad, which you are more familiar with it, most of you. What did he do in Mecca? What did he do? He invited people to what? Tawheed. Acknowledge that there is one creator. There is no other creator. There is no other creator. All the prophets give the same message. But what we say, because the language of the Quran is, for example, Quran says, as we read it on the verse 17, you don't honor orphans. We understand that the orphan so ridiculous, so simplistic and limited. Orphan means, I don't think, for example, in the historical context, they are making up as if the orphans are treated so badly. The Prophet himself was an orphan. Yeah? If he, the Prophet Muhammad, was not proclaiming, preaching the divine message, do you think he will be just exploited and rejected by the community? Why he was opposed by the nobles, they call it nobles, of the community? Because of the message. Otherwise, he was an orphan. It was okay. He was a poor guy, okay. I mean, you can be a poor guy, what does it matter? But no one comes and really exploits you because you don't have a father and mother. And especially in Meccan society, it was very important. In the Meccan society, the Quraysh, the people, majority of the people of Mecca was Quraysh. And the Quraysh people were famous for being generous, for being protective. All the tribes who come to visit Mecca or Kaaba, they were very honorable people because all the Arab tribes were respecting Quraysh because they were very kind to every tribe. They didn't have any conflict with any other tribe. That was important. The other neighboring tribes around Mecca and other Hijaz area, they were fighting with each other, but none of them was fighting with Quraysh. Why? Because the Quraysh people were respectful to every tribe, taking care of their need when they come to Kaaba. For their own tribal purposes, trade purposes, but they were very honorable people. They had a nedwe, which is called now the parliament, a kind of parliament, taking care of the problems of the society, who is really mistreated, etc. Now, only the Quraysh people were like that. And the Quran says, do you think taking care of the pilgrims, feeding them and giving them water will save you? Because they were proud of it. Oh, if you remember the verse in the Quran, it doesn't save you. Because what saves you? Only to acknowledge your source of existence, who is absolute, so that your existence will be secure. Otherwise, you can be proud of being a very generous host. Very generous host. You are proud of it. No? You are not thankful to the Creator who gave you this ability and opportunity. Right? The prophet and the same people were protective of everybody, but don't read the history, which is really made up. Dramatize the position in Mecca. They were mistreating the poor and mistreating the women. No, not in Quraysh. Not in Quraysh. And also they say, they were killing the baby girls. How many of them? Do you think they were all killing the baby girls and there was a shortage of women? One or two tribes did, but some of them, one or two stupid people were doing that. That's it. Especially in Quraysh, it wasn't a tradition at all. It wasn't a custom at all to kill the baby girls. History wants to dramatize the case in terms of material framework. If we are careful, I don't want to go into the classical approach to the Quranic teaching and how they made up the case in order to make the message of the Quran to the material conditions of Mecca. It's nothing to do with it. Nothing to do. Well, just I read something this morning as a commentary by Tabari. It is so ridiculous, and every scholar rejected it. What kind of understanding it is? Anyways, that is something else. But just I'm giving you this. Be careful. Not every story is told to you is really true. Because of the, for example, for our life also we can say, what I can, for example, I can be sympathetic to somebody about what? About something which is most important for me. If I see that, if I'm hungry, if I have no shelter, it is the most important thing for me. So what I start seeing the other people in terms of hunger and needing the shelter and feeding the hunger. Because my worldview is based on this. If you see that, if you realize that, well, hunger, I can do something. Come on, come at 12 o'clock at midnight, and lots of restaurants through lots of beautiful, most delicious food in the press. Before they do it, you can collect it and get enough food for a week. Don't worry about it. What is needed in this society? What do people need? Acknowledge their creator. Make sure that they belong to this absolute maker, and he is going to take care of their human needs eternally. So that I will say, okay, whatever happens to me, I am secure. Because of my creator takes care of me. I have no worry about it. Comfort. Okay, as far as the food is concerned, come on, knock at the door of any house and say that I'm hungry, give me a plate of food, they will give you, don't worry about it. It is so easy. The Quran encourages this. Now, even more. Shall we move to the verse 19? Is it okay now? We have to urge one another to feed the needy. Yeah? If you need, you are depressed. Okay, I'll give you the opportunity to speak. You are depressed. You feel no meaning for your life. And you feel empty. No purpose. What you need, satisfaction. If you say that this is the most important satisfaction, you may not have enough food. Doesn't matter. Get the cheapest food, okay? Buy a sack of potatoes or the 20 pounds of rice. It is enough for you for almost 2 weeks. That is just $10. Why bother? Why bother, really? It is so easy. So for $10, you live for 2 weeks. So easy. But how about your vacuum in your being? Your existence, in your existence. How are you going to feel it? Now, if you see yourself as to be in need of this security, this certainty, you start seeing people, they need as well the same thing. So your definition of need radically changes. And you start reading the Quran for its own purpose. Because Quran, my creator, doesn't speak to me in order to arrange my material life. Because material life you can learn. And some people can help you to arrange your material life, how to get a job, how to do some things, how to repair your things. Everybody is ready to help you. But for this belief side is completely neglected just because we don't feel the need. We think that we are believers. That's it. We believe in God. And what we have. Can somebody search? Can you do that? Can you do that very quickly? Or no, leave that stupid texting.
I'm taking notes.
Sorry? You are taking notes. Good. Okay. So, 12, chapter 12, verse somewhere around, no, maybe the last verse, 111. If I'm not mistaken. Maybe 110, 111, unfortunately. Sorry?
Yes.
I cannot read it, man. No, not 111. Or no, before this, this one, is that? Now, the verse must be Basira. هذا إلى الله بصيرة. It's somewhere here.
وهذه سبيل الله.
تقول هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله. Sorry? No, just a minute.
على بصيرة وأنا
Yeah. أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة. The number is 108. Okay, where is the 108? It's one more. Yeah, okay. قل هذه سبيلي أدعو إلى الله على بصيرة أنا ومن اتبعني وسبحان الله وما أنا من المشركين. Now, look at this verse now, which says, say, this is my way, the prophet's way, or of course, in extension, it will say, أنا ومن اتبعني, me and those people who follow me, my followers. What is it? أدعو إلى الله. I call people to Allah. Yeah? I introduce Allah to people. على بصيرة. What does it mean? Let me see how they say. With one's eyes. Come on, it's ridiculous. Take it. With one eyes. Come on, basira is. Basar is different from basira. Come on.
Full perception.
Yeah. Basira means having an insight, intellectual realization. Basira. Right? So we cannot call people saying that we believe in God, God is all powerful. Where is Basira? Where is intellectual satisfaction? Where is insight? How can I have an insight? So we should call people to Allah to acknowledge who my creator is. That's what the Quran speaks. From my perspective, who is my Lord is, introduce them, but you cannot introduce by saying that, Allah is the creator of the universe. Where is insightful intellectual satisfaction? Where is it? Basira. Right? For example, a very typical example that we refer to Nursi's commentary on the Quran. This man says, if I sees basar, which is called basar, I sees the creatures, but human insight, intellectual realization doesn't see. It means basira doesn't see the message in it. It is a horrible thing for a human being. It means we are reducing ourselves to animal level. It means animal also sees the things, but human beings are expected to see the meaning, the message, so that to become aware of the truthfulness or the message ingrained in the existence of the beings. So what we need to do now, we have to call people to become aware of their creator on a base that is satisfactory for human intellectual insight. Perception. Somebody said something is, what was it? The translation, this is a horrible translation. I don't know who did it.
It was full perception.
Sorry?
Full perception.
Full perception. Yeah, much better. It is what eyes. Yeah, they are killing the message. So, full perception. We have to get it, we have to have it, and we have to present it to people. That's what the way, that is the only way to feed the need of human beings. Fundamental need. Satisfaction of one's humanity, satisfaction of one's heart. Now your turn.
I wanted to ask about the word yatim. It's translated as orphan.
Yeah.
But you told us something very different.
No, it is orphan.
But is what I want to know, like the word yatim, is there like a root under a meaning?
Doesn't matter. Yatim is the one who has no protector. But if I think my own being, I have no protector, I am a stranger in this land. Yeah, for example, immigrants newly arrived in the US and they don't know anyone here. They feel yatim, no protection, no security, yeah, for their body needs. They need food, they need job, they need income, they need shelter. Now, if I see myself, define myself as such that I need shelter, I need food, my understanding of orphan means then my understanding orphan then will mean I need food, I need shelter. So I keep saying this just to attract your attention and wake up, to wake you up. You cannot read the divine speech, absolute speech, with dictionary meaning. It is nothing. Dictionary meaning is secular meaning. Why? Dictionary meaning of the words mostly taken from the human experience at a societal level. So how the people see yatim, so they describe yatim accordingly. About what is the most dangerous thing to do? This secular meaning is applied to the Quranic message. What happens now? Quran becomes a secular message. Oh, what is usually happening? Yeah? What usually happens? Quran becomes a secular message. So it is very dangerous. Okay. 19. What happened? How about the connection? The power connection. Maybe there. No, it's not.
Switch.
No. What happened? Yeah. Maybe connection wasn't. Okay. The 19 were 19. Is it on? But it came on once.
Yeah, it flashed on, but
But it is for the iPhone. It's not for this. No. Are you sure it is
oh,
on?
it's on.
Yeah.
It's on.
Okay, leave it. Inshallah. It will come up. Inshallah.
I think it needs to charge it. But
Yeah. Okay. The following verse is وَتَأْكُلُونَ. Sorry.
One question regarding, you do not feed the needy, so does it mean that everyone is supposed to become a preacher and,
No, feed the needy.
yeah, and
But as far as you know, start from, that is the Quranic tradition, start from yourself first, save yourself. You know, the Quran says,
does it mean like meaning sharing your understanding as
yeah. أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا وقودها الناس والحجارة أعدت للكافرين. What is the beginning of the verse? قوا أنفسكم
يا أيها الذين آمنوا
يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا وقودها الناس والحجارة. Now, those people who believe, it means in the general understanding that I believe that this universe is created, it has a creator, and I have a creator, yes? So, Quran says, oh, believers, look, believers, save, go means make it secure, guaranteed, yourself from the fire. Save yourself from the fire. And then, وَأَهْلِيكُمْ. And then your ahl, your family, your close relatives, those people who are familiar with you. Yeah. So other verses say that first take care of your close relatives, but as far as the belief matters is concerned, for example, if you don't have money, can you help others? I mean, if you are not able to do something yourself, no. But in the same way, if you don't realize what is the purpose in your existence, can you help others? Right? Because you have to save yourself first. But it is strangely enough, the Quran says, "Oh believers, قوا أهليكم أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا." First, save yourself from the nar. Nar of what? We studied this long before. Nar of unbelief, uncertainty in your life, not feeling secure, uncertainty. That is nar, because your human side will be in fire. Why burning? Because there is no purpose in your life. You don't know why are you living here. You don't know what is the purpose in your existence in this world. Now you struggle for what? And to make more money, maybe, what are you going to do with it? At the end, you will die. Your animal side will die. Why do you keep feeding the animal side? It's going to die. It's going to rot. Why do you concentrate on feeding the animal side only? That is just by the way you will do it. But your main purpose will be to save your humanity from feeling it is in the fire, burning. Mostly burning of meaninglessness, burning of purposelessness. I don't know what am I doing, what I am doing. For what purpose? But unfortunately, among the believers, as the Quran says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, among the believers, I believe in God, I am saved. But when it comes to having a comfortable, satisfied heart, that I belong to the absolute one, which is called, in the Islamic tradition, which is called trusting in God. How can you trust in God if you don't know him really? Who is he? So you have to know him first, yourself. Now, belief in God does not necessitate that you know him. Do you understand that? Believe in God. There must be a creator like this one, like New York must have a mayor, administration, and the head of the administration. It must have. But do you know who he is? Do you know what he can do for you? Do you know? You don't know him. If you don't know him, acknowledging that this state, United States, has a president, an administrative body, doesn't mean that you feel secure here, knowing that there is an administrative body. All the immigrants here know that there is an administration in this society, in this state. Do they feel secure? Because they don't know their rights. They don't know if they have a right or not, whether this state is going to take care of them or not. They don't know. So they don't feel secure. So saying that the universe has a creator doesn't make you necessarily put your trust in that creator, knowing that what he can do for you. Because you have to know him. In order to know him, you have to study his message, revealing who he is to you and to me. Okay, that's what we need to do. Still no? This is the dead again. How can you make sure that it's on now? Yeah, it is on now.
But it's still.
But there is something you have to work on it. Do you know? Do you know? No. When it is on, you have to choose something from the.
No, but its battery is super low, so it keeps shutting down
It's
because of the low battery.
Battery is not feeding, huh?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, this one. What is more important now, وَتَأْكُلُونَ التُّرَاثَ أَكْلًا لَمًّا. وَتَأْكُلُونَ التُّرَاثَ أَكْلًا لَمًّا. What's that? Well, I made a mistake, I think, here. I think there's 20 is not it. Okay. The translation is, you devour the inheritance of the inheritance greedily. وَتَأْكُلُونَ التُّرَاثَ, you devour, you eat. the inheritance, أكلا لما really greedily. Because really, you eat just for the sake of eating. You like a food, you just because you like a food, you eat and eat and eat. You cannot stop. Yeah, I remember myself. When the food is delicious, I don't know how to stop greedily. Now, it is not there. You devour the inheritance greedily. Now, in my translation, there's a bracket that inheritance of others, which is, it can wrong. But no others here. Inheritance, truth. What you have inherited. Now, what is inheritance? What do you have inherited?
Your fitra.
Sorry?
Your fitra.
Your human nature. You inherit the human nature from someone from whom? From your creator. What else? This excellent point. One point. There are others. What do we inherit? What else do we inherit?
Everything.
Everything. We inherit everything. When you came to this world as a baby, what did you inherit? Whole universe. Whole universe. Because it is just given to you. As if your father died, the universe is given to you. Right? And you devour it. It means you just use it for your egotistic purposes. Eat just because it is tasty, like the child eating chocolate. It's like you cannot stop it. Just for the sake of the taste, you cannot stop it. So we inherit the whole universe. When we came here, we inherit the whole universe. How do you understand that inheritance greedily? Well, your father or mother will die, and you will have some money left over, and you shouldn't eat greedily. But you know that in fiqh, Islamic fiqh, inheritance is legal. You don't work for it. You receive it, and it is your property because your father died. You didn't work for it. So you cannot just say that my father died and he left me some land or some money or some company working, and I am eating it greedily. What should I do? I shouldn't eat it. It's legal. It is legal. It means halal. You can use it. But this verse is not supposed to be talking about this at all. Inheritance, because it is your property, you do it. But the inheritance, for example, my father died and I haven't inherited anything from my father, neither from my mother. So this verse has nothing to do with me. Do you understand? But what we inherit, when we came to this world, what we inherit, the whole universe. The Quran also says, specifically talks about the human beings. The believing human beings, be careful, will inherit the earth. Will inherit the earth. What does it mean? The non-believers will not inherit the earth. What does it mean? They are not receiving it. They are not benefiting from it. They are not using it. But don't confuse. Animal side uses it. It's okay. Our body is an animal as well. We have to take care of it. Yes. When your father dies, how are you going to distribute the wealth he left to you, to your brothers, sisters, your mother, or whatever, the relatives. That is fiqh matter. But this is not about inheritance law. It says you devour the inheritance greedily for your own egoistic purposes. You receive the universe, you say, sunlight is for me. I have to sit on the beach. Now, this beautiful forest, I have to say, fresh air. This animal. Quran doesn't speak to animal. So what are we inheriting? Huge message sent to us through the existence of the universe. Message, full of message, introducing its creator to me. I have to use my human side to utilize it. What we do? To use it for our egoistic and animalistic purposes. That is devouring the inheritance greedily. The Quran says, hey, be careful, what are you doing? Plus, what else do we inherit? All the information, all the knowledge from the previous generations. What else? We use them for our egoistic purposes. What else? All the information, messages sent to us through the prophets. We devour it. It uses for our material comfort, bodily comfort, not human comfort to satisfy our humanity. So I understand that if we receive the message of the Quran just in order to apply it to our physical life, fast, don't eat from this time to this time, pray 5 times a day, do certain actions physically. That's what fiqh rules are all about. That is correct, but the Quran doesn't really, cannot be reduced to that animalistic aspect of human beings. That is our animalistic side. Yes, my body should not eat food from dawn to dusk, right? Sunset. My body. But that is just my body's duty. How about my human duty? What am I doing with it? What am I doing with the inheritance I found when I was born into this world? Do you understand inheritance now? Especially prophetic inheritance. Quran, for example, for the Muslims. What do we do with the Quran? You inherit the Quran, where you found the Quran, and it is there. I'm sure all of you are familiar with the Quran. No. When the Quran is accessible to you, what do you do with this inheritance? What do you do with the inheritance you received? What do we do? What do we do with the Quran? Nothing. The best is recited during Laylatul Qadr without maybe understanding anything, mostly. Yeah, we think that we are reading the Quran. Now, the problems are very deep. How? Because we don't really train ourselves how to benefit from the teachings of the Quran, God's guidance, by defining the Quran rightly. What is the Quran? Let's go over it again because on several occasions we did this. What is the Quran? Speech of the Creator, right? Why does the Quran speak? It means your Creator speak to you. Why does it speak to you? What do you need? Well, the Quran says, I am speaking to you in order to teach you what you don't know. Don't you know how to go and do the shopping? Huh?
Yes.
You know. Okay. Don't the farmers, example, farmers don't the farmers know how to cultivate the land? They don't need creators guidance, instruction. You have to cultivate like this in order to get the best harvest. How about, for example, the engineers? Don't they know how to make the computer? Do you think those people who make these wonderful gadgets, technological devices, by studying the Quran? Have you ever seen anyone? No? They know it. They learn because that is an innate, instinctive ability given to you by your Creator again. Do you think that you need an extra information from your Creator in order to arrange and manipulate your worldly life? What do we do? What are we doing? You didn't like it. No, I'm joking. I know.
Inshallah.
Okay. Inshallah, I see you next Wednesday.
No, after that, inshallah.
Inshallah, you won't be. All right, I understand. So, what do we need? What we don't know. But then the Quran again says, what you don't know is called in the language of the Quran, ghaib. Yes? Ghaib. It means what you don't know by using your human instincts that you don't know. For example, any human being who has not read the Quran, right? They look at the universe, this is wonderful. It is perfect, amazing. There must be something. It cannot happen by itself. Yeah. They don't need God's guidance to use their intellect as far as the general appearance of the creation is concerned. It is not ghaib for them, for any human being. Ghaib. I'm not translating as unseen or unknown something. It is not ghaib because it's a very difficult word to translate it into English. Let's use it as a technical word now. It is not ghaib for them. For example, when you look at this table, what do you say? There must be a maker. Do you have any doubt about it? No, you don't. It is not ghaib for you that the table has a maker. This computer has a maker, engineer. But do you need any special guidance to understand that somebody should tell you, the engineer should come and tell you, the engineer of the computer should come and tell you that, oh, yeah, look, it doesn't happen by itself. I made it. Or somebody, an engineer made it. You say, yeah, I know. It is made by an engineer. I don't need guidance about it. But who is this engineer? Why did he do it? How did you do it? What is the purpose in making it? The engineer of the universe. Right? Engineer of the universe. That is ghaib. I don't know. So, what we inherit from the prophetic tradition, which explains the ghaib aspect of existence. Ghaib aspect of existence, not material aspect of existence. What do they mean? When you look at something, let's say, what is it? is the deer, the picture of a deer. Okay. You look at a deer, you say it's an animal. Right? Do you need any special guidance from the creator of the deer that it is made? You look at it and, oh, it is wonderful. Like it must have a maker, designer, whatever. Yeah, orderer, whatever, you know. But who's this one? For what purpose he did it? He made it. How did he do it? In order to what? To do what? So we don't know it. Then we need guidance now. Now, in this respect, we need guidance. I don't need guidance how to make salad. I can just do it, and by experience, I become a very talented chef. It is possible. I don't have to read the Quran to become a talented chef. Huh? But what I need, I don't know the purpose in my existence. That is the most important inheritance that we are receiving through the prophets. God's giving us the earth. Believers benefit from the earth. Believers inherit the earth. What does it mean? Some people understood. When I read it, I go a bit crazy. Understand that believers going to invade the earth and administer it. What are you going to do by administering the earth? Here being the Sultan of the earth. What are you going to do with it? But how are you going to inherit the earth? How can you inherit the earth? By receiving the message sent to you through the existence of the earth. You inherit the message, not the earth. You will die and you won't need it. You inherit it and it passes away. You inherit it, it passes away. You inherit millions, possible. What happens when you die? What happens? Left to another person, not other people. You cannot take it. Take anything with you. So it is the inheritance. No, the real inheritance is to get the message in the existence of the earth. Only believers can get it. Other believing in what? Ghaib side of the creation. Belief means becoming aware, becoming certain of the message in the existence of the earth. Only believers can inherit this. Now, we should not devour the inheritance. It means use it for our worldly satisfaction. It means animal satisfaction. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't eat the fruit or the vegetables or food. That is for animal side. Everybody does it. Then everybody eats it. Everybody benefits from it. Maybe the non-believers benefit more than you and me. Right? It is not really benefiting from the inheritance. The real inheritance in the view, in the content of the teachings of the Quran is the ghaibi aspect of the creation. Ghaibi aspect of the creation. Are we inheriting it? No.
Totally, why can't we just describe Gaibi as being simply the meaning of, our existence?
But the meaning of existence, how are you going to get the meaning of the existence if you don't have the revelation which reveals the ghaibi aspect of the creation? For example, a humanist also say, I know the meaning in the existence of the earth. We shouldn't spoil it. We shouldn't exploit it. We shouldn't pollute it. Look, they don't get the message. They don't get the message. How can you get the message? Only when you receive the message of the Creator, revealing to you what the real message is all about, so that your human side will be in communication, in correspondence with the message that you receive. So, practically and simply speaking, get the meaning, but the meaning can only be the meaning of meaning in the purpose of the existence can only be perceived through the one who reveals it to you. That's why we people mostly devour the inheritance in physical form, the universe and its meaning, and in the message that the prophets bring to us, without really benefiting them as far as our human sides need. Do you understand this? Do you understand this inheritance? No or yes? Any question, any comment, any further? No? Thinking, okay. I don't know what I did, but here, the verse 20 is here, but it is not on the screen. وَتُحِبُّونَ الْمَالَ حُبًّا جَمًّا. Oh, you love the mal in such a way that it really with a real love, حُبًّا جَمًّا, real love. It means mal. Now, mal is used in the Quran with the many meanings, but endless meanings, I would say. For example, your abilities, your qualities. How did it translate it?
And love, wealth, and excessive love.
Excessive love, yeah, it's okay. It's all right. Love, the property, and excessive love. For example, now, since there is a dentist among us, the people love their teeth to be healthy. Yeah, for what? To eat, to chew. Do you understand? No, I must take care of my teeth. I must take care of my teeth, yeah? But it doesn't mean that we shouldn't take care of our teeth, but it cannot be our ultimate aim. But we take care of our teeth, we take care of our eyes, we take care of our skin, we take care of our body health. But this is mal in this context. And also, we love having properties, whatever we want. Be careful, we are not, in this context now, in the context of this verse, we are not paying attention to the meaning, to the message in their existence. That's why the Quran says you really love property. Take care of your eyes, take care of your skin, take care of your body shape excessively, but you don't take care of your human needs, human side. You love property, get more and more and more, like me. I love have something more, updated technology, whatever. Okay.
So, mal is anything material.
So which you
Love.
didn't get it. Didn't get it. Which you?
Love.
No. Mal, in this context, anything which is used for its own material purposes. Right? But when it is used in the Quran, those people who struggle, who makes jihad with their own being, nefs, with their being, with themselves, and with their amwal. Yeah? Again, do you know والذين جاهدوا بأنفسهم وأموالهم, with themselves and with their property. Those people who struggle, who make jihad. How can you make jihad with your mal, with your emphasis, something else? But let's concentrate on mal. We don't have much time. How do we
Your abilities.
use your abilities? But you have to make jihad now. Jihad. How can you make jihad with your amwal?
By using your intellect, your emotion, your free will to
Yeah, in order to use it, in order to achieve what?
To learn about your creator.
So their real owner, to get to know their real owner. If we don't do it, but just take care of our eye health, our, I don't know, our body, our property, make our house look the best, etc., what happens? We are not getting any message from them. Our humanity is not benefiting from them. Our animality is benefiting from them. Now, this verse says, you really love the property for the sake of its material value. Now the Quran, we have some, maybe a few more minutes. Okay? Let's go, but unfortunately you don't see it, but I don't know. It was working, but there's something we have to work on it. Look, can you take this one with you and work on it, because there is something to be, the homework,
Okay.
that how it works.
I'll take
Because
care of it.
when there is this triangular and an exclamation on it, exclamation sign on it, it means you have to do something from it with this touch.
Okay, I'll troubleshoot.
Okay, you will take it
Yes.
with you and take care, learn it for the next
I will
week.
master it.
Inshallah. So that's your hope. So because I don't, if you don't see it, it is difficult to register on your, what's happening here. Now, suddenly, as we always say, that the Quran emphasizes one point, guides human beings in order to make them realize one point, and the purpose is completely different. Now, كلا إذا دكت الأرض دكا دكا. You don't do this, you don't do that, you are supposed to do, but you are neglectful about it. And then suddenly says, no, indeed, when the earth is crushed to pieces. What is the connection? When the earth is crushed into pieces. What is the connection? Somebody must help us understand. Sorry?
Then you become knowledge. You
Coming?
become aware of.
Sorry?
You becoming aware of
Aware of what?
the Creator.
Well, but the earth is crushed to pieces.
When you lose what you were owning material.
Owning meta, material side.
When
Then-
it's taken away from you.
Now, all the previous verses was about what?
Inheritance. Of
Yeah,
message.
not treating the orphan, the creatures properly. And let's see what else. and not urging to each other to feed the needy, but needy means not material side, right? If you just reduce religion or religious activity to the material side of your life, material side of your life. For example, say, I have a car and I worked for it. It is halal. I didn't do anything haram. It is my car now. What happens? You are treating the car in its material form that you legitimately got it. Right? Now, the verse says, when the car is crushed to pieces, it is going to be. Your all justification saying that I received the car, I gained the car, or I obtained the car in a halal way, crashed. You took care of your teeth, example, don't misunderstand, just an example. You took care of your teeth, yeah. What happened? Only your kids. People are crazy about their health and body shape, yeah, nowadays, mostly. So you did it. What will happen? It will crash into pieces. What is left? Nothing. Nothing. Do you understand? The subject suddenly changed as if not related to the previous ones. Very simple, very simple. If you only take notice of the material aspect of your life, material aspect of inheritance, no hope. It will crash into pieces. You cannot escape from it. So what are you doing? Wake up. What you need, what we human beings need, you said at the beginning, eternity. Eternity in my existence, eternity in my happiness, eternity in my satisfaction. Where is eternity in your satisfaction if we just pay attention to the material aspect of our life, even in the name of religion? For example, say, I prayed today, there's an Asr prayer, and all the rules I applied perfectly. And this is body actions, recitations, physical. Everything is perfectly done. What happened? All the physical actions will be crushed into pieces. What will remain with you? While you are doing all these actions, your consciousness, your awareness, your insightful perception of what you are doing. So your spirit will get the message from there. If you just reduce yourself to physical side of anything, for example, you say, simple example, I have $40 and it is Ramadan now, it is time for me to pay zakat. Yeah, it is not necessarily to pay zakat in Ramadan, by the way, but people make it practical. Okay, every Ramadan they make it. So I paid $1 out of each $40. They said, I performed my job. I gave the money to somebody else. It is material giving. What your humanity did out of this action, what your humanity gained out of this action. That is for the religious side. Well, I'm not talking about if we don't really take notice of any religious message at all. It is total lost. Yeah, it is total lost. Even in the religious side, we may be misled as well by concentrating on the physical side of the matter. which needs to be concentrated, which needs to be taken seriously, but human side needs to be satisfied. Not the physical side only. Physical side is the responsibility for the body. Yes, we have to make the body clean. We have to make the body prostrate and bow down and stand up. Yes, we have to make the body to fast. But your body is going to crash. These must have a serious message in them, where if we don't get it, the physical side will be crushed into pieces. There will be nothing left. Unfortunately, I am particularly speaking about the religious side because the other side is so clear. You have property. Let's say you are a billionaire, all right, okay? What happens? You cannot $1 billion in your life, you cannot finish it. You cannot, what are you going to do with it? So it will crash. After you die, it will go. Your body will have nothing to do with it anymore. It is obvious. But even in religious matters also, we have to pay attention not to reduce our worship, our actions to its physical form only. Only. Physical form must be taken care of, but it is the physical side of it. But this physical form, the purpose of this physical form is to have some sort of consciousness through these actions. These physical actions must be reminders for you. Reminding of what? For example, while you are giving zakat, what are you expected to be reminded?
The generosity of the Creator.
Creator. Yeah, not you.
Yeah.
And also you are employed to transfer it and practice it, right? So you are given the opportunity to practice the generosity of your Creator while you are giving. You don't say that I gave some money to somebody. It is nothing. Yeah, but you have to give. But it is nothing. It is not the purpose. To give the money is not the purpose. While you are giving it, you practically experience the sense that given to you in order to acknowledge that your Creator is just pieces. Now we should stop here because the following verse is completely the new subject. وَجَاءَ رَبُّكَ وَالْمَلَكُ صَفًّا صَفًّا. Oh, now, when your Lord comes and the angels come, rows upon rows. What does it mean, Lord is coming? That is the subject of next week. Okay, it is almost time. No, but it's time, not almost. Maghrib time, we have to go and pray. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inshallah, I see you next Saturday. And inshallah, my intention is, if Allah allows us, gives us the opportunity to go into the deep meaning of the Quran, inshallah, the message of the Quran, next Saturday and next Wednesday. Inshallah. Next Wednesday is the second day of Eid. Will you come?
Saturday.
Sorry. Next Saturday. Sorry. No, this is Saturday. Will you come? Okay. Inshallah, my intention is to be in the house, waiting for all those people who are available. So if you just reduce Eid to eating, you cannot come. But if you understand, Eid means realization of the purpose in the creation, the purpose of your existence. When you understand, your heart makes festivals. Now that is real Eid, human Eid, not the stomach Eid. Although I love food.
Brownies? What about brownies?
Yeah, next Saturday, if Allah gives me life, Next Saturday, inshallah, the brownie will be ready. It's good to remember. Okay.
For next Wednesday, should we stick to 6:30 or 7 p.m.?
Depends on what you want. 6:30, you cannot make it. How about one person cannot make it? The rest. Which one do you prefer? 6:30 or 7? Which one?
Both work.
7. 1 to 7, hey? Yeah, how about 7? 7? 7? Doesn't matter either. Okay. Who insists that it must be at 6:30? Insists. Okay, 7 o'clock. Okay? 7 o'clock. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم إن الحمد لله